Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of CVtv Workshops. My name is Carlos, and I'm here with my guest, David Dawkins. How are you, Dave?
Hey, good. How's it going today, Carlos?
I'm doing well. I'm
Good,
doing
man.
well. How's the weather down there?
Hey, we finally cooling off down south, man. It feels good.
You
It,
are. What's the weather there right now?
it's about 60, low 60s, so it's pretty nice. We need a little jacket for us. It's nice to get that winter stuff back out again.
Yeah, here in Chicago, it's already cold. I think we're in the 40s or
Oh,
low 50s, and yeah, it's. I'm wearing my T-shirt, but usually because I'm live, usually you see me. I got a fleece and I got a little beanie jacket on, or hat, and I'm decked up, man.
wow, wow.
So yeah. So, hey, I want to say hello to everybody here. I see Jeff Bernadette is here. David Paulson is here as well. Kyle Collins is here. Ricardo. Hey, Ricky. Hey, buddy. Reef Keeper is here as well. And Kevin is here. Thank you so much for visiting us. I thank you so much for joining us. We actually have a great workshop, and it's not just workshop, right, Dave? We got a couple of surprises here and there.
Yeah. We got a couple of surprises mixed in here, and we're gonna do a couple giveaways, and kind of just talk about what we've been doing for the last year, and
Yeah,
give
it's
you some ideas of where we're going.
Hydros is the one year old, isn't it?
Yeah,
The
1 year
control.
since we launched Halloween last year. So yeah, it's been a nice ride for us. I mean, look, let's be honest, Carlos. A lot of people expected us to fail. To be
Yes.
honest, some people want us to fail with this.
Yeah,
So, it's not
they
going to happen. We just getting started.
we're
You
gonna
know
do.
that. I know that. So
We're
there's
not
a
going.
lot more to come.
We're not going down that easily. We're gonna if we're going down, we'll go down with a fight.
Exactly.
Nah, just kidding, just kidding. No, we you know what? We just wanted to give everybody an option, and
Exactly. That's all it is. Look, the industry is big enough, and I believe we've created our little niche in this and what we're doing, and I think people like it. I mean, look, $200 for a controller with Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
It's a where else you gonna go? You know what I mean? What else you gonna do?
Absolutely. And you know what? The most important thing about this is that we could have not done it without the support of the viewers, everybody that goes out and buys the
Yeah.
control. And you
Thank
know
you.
what? And everybody that went out there and bought it from a controller that you had never heard about.
Yeah, they gave
There's
us a
no,
chance.
they gave
I
us a chance.
appreciate that. I
And
really do.
that, we could have done everything we could have, Dave, and the
Yeah,
entire Hydros team, but without the people, without the support of
no,
the
you're right.
folks out there, it would have been we would have failed.
Yeah,
So the
sincerely.
reason why we're still here and going is because of you guys. Thank you so much for taking a chance on us.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. So before we start, I want to make sure that everybody knows the usual. I have to do some, advertising in here because Dave is like, we have to do something in there. Somebody's got to pay for this. Just kidding. If you like the channel, if you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button, hit the likes, hit the bell, and then you'll be notified next time we have a show. Sometimes we have giveaways, sometimes we announce new products, and sometimes we just do basic workshops where
Wow.
we teach you how to do things the simple way, not the hard way, the simple way. Also, if you are a person that loves to help other people, head on over to Facebook. I know Facebook is not that bad. If you use it for good things, Facebook is a good platform. Great to share information. We have Facebook Cares. Community acquires research, education, and support, where you can ask a question and then somebody will give you the answer based on their personal experience. There's nothing better than sharing information. Facebook and social media has been such a one-sided channel. Let's start using Facebook the way it was really intended to be, which is to share information and help each other.
Yeah, and it doesn't
Keyword.
have to be our product either,
No,
Carlos. We
that's
want to, we want people that are in the hobby and passionate about this. Hey, come on in, share in the discussion.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? And also, if you're really interested on the hydro system, you can always go to forum.coralviewhydros.com, and that's a community specifically there for the CoralView Hydros. They'll help you with questions. If you have a question, most likely it's already been answered. And the Hydros, believe it or not, has a big DIY section. So, you know, Jeff Bernadette is the pseudo unofficial, you know, guru of the DIY. You know, he's always hanging in there and helping out people. We always appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. And if, you know, the forum is not a cup of tea, you know, Facebook is something that you just don't want to do. My wife deleted Facebook. You know, it is what it is. I wish I could sometimes, but I can't. Dave, I know you wish you could, but you can't either. But anyway, if Facebook is not your cup of tea, then just head over to support.coralview.com and you'll get personalized one-on-one help. You know what? We will talk to you online. And then if we need to schedule a phone call, we'll do a phone call and remote access into your controller and walk you through the process. So believe it or not, HYDROS controller, we can actually remote into your system and see exactly what you're seeing, which makes it a lot easier for us to troubleshoot instead of having to ask you questions to try to get you to give us the answer. So we with your permission, we go in there, take a look at the controller, and then we usually don't fix things for you. Then we go back and tell you step by step what we fixed. So the next time you don't make the same mistake.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my producer, April, here is saying that I have to do an announcement because we have our 1-year anniversary giveaway.
Yeah.
Tell me, Dave, what are we doing?
So for the month of November, each week, we're going to be giving away a Control 3 starter pack. So for one lucky contestant each week, so there'll be 4 winners, and we're going to give you a Control 3 starter pack to get you started.
That is fantastic. That is awesome. I mean, is that, you know what, the thing about the HYDROS controller, and we've been preaching this for a while, and I hate to use the word preaching, but it's kind of true, is that even if you have a Control 4 or you have a Control 2 or you have a Control XS, the Control 3 starter pack will add on to the system and make it bigger and more robust. So we're not saying drop your Control 4 because we're giving you this brand new Control 3. No, you can put them together, and now if you have a Control 4 and a Control 3, technically now you have a Control 7. You know, it's unofficial. You did not hear that. I did not put that on writing, right? All right. I want to say thank you to Scott. He's saying he liked my Monster Mash.
Yeah, I liked it too, man.
You know what?
I have to get. Well, the holidays are coming up. I think we're gonna have to hear a little more.
I know. You know what? But you know, it's the editing. April, our producer, the editing. You know what? People can work miracles post production. You know, so she did a fantastic job. Yeah, that was great. All right, so HYDROS has been around for 1 year, Dave.
Yeah,
and it all started with the Control 4 back on Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween ago. Yeah. We started with Control 4. Tell me about Control 4. How was Control 4? What's the Phoenix? What was the genesis of Control 4?
Well, the Control 4 was kind of our standard, I guess you could say, go-to, because of it has the most features. We're talking about drive ports, sense ports, 0 to 10 in and out, pH, ORP, and our command bus ports for power and data. So that was our flagship, controller, and it still is in terms of, maybe before we drop the Kraken here in a short period of time, sometime next year, maybe, I don't know, but
release the Kraken.
Kraken. Some people mention that to me. They see your HYDROS come up, and I've seen release the Kraken.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is our go-to controller that we release first in terms of all the functions that we put into it, and then we kind of scaled it back a bit from there with the Control 2. So so the control got you, it's minus the pH and the 0 to 10, and it's kind of the entryway into the HYDROS realm. And that was our plan with Control 2.
And why did we choose not to put a pH or an ORP? I mean, I think that the control to the market was more towards the freshwater or the
Yeah.
maybe the smaller tank where
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
maybe not have any corals, something like that.
Yeah, or just you want to run our ATO with it and a leak detector. It gets you into the door into controllability and running Wi-Fi strips and our other Wi-Fi devices from it.
Well, and then as we talked about just a little bit earlier, the Control 2 was not a replacement to the Control 4. It's
Right.
not like something that you bought a Control 2, and then if you wanted a Control 4, then you had to pretty much grab the Control 2 and put it in a closet.
Mm-mm.
You could make it what we develop into what we dearly call the collective, and
Yep.
then you could put them together, and then now you have what we call a Control 6.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
know,
now you're adding to it. You can add more leak detectors or sensors, and you can just build your system
yeah.
as it grows, or maybe you upgrade to a larger system, a larger aquarium in time. There's no wrong decision, really. What
You
we're
know,
trying to do.
And the thing about it is that even back then, when we released the Control 2, a few months after the Control 4, so just a little bit after that, people were buying into the system and feeling like you could see the potential. Back
Yeah.
in those days, we had a little, not such a little contest, but we had a contest with a couple of winners. We had like I think it was some kind of $1,500 giveaway or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but we had personalized help. I got on the phone with one of them and we worked through the entire system, built it all. And then we decided to contact him actually, a few days ago and
Okay.
just kind of get an update on what he thought about the HYDROS. Is he still using it? Does he
Right.
still like it? And this is what Josh had to say.
Okay.
Hey there, I'm Josh Weissman coming to you from Colorado. So about a year ago, I sort of happenstance entered a contest that CoralView was doing for the release of the HYDROS, and I won, and I got a whole bunch of really cool HYDROS equipment. So I'm here to give you kind of a little bit of a 1 year follow-up. So we're gonna look at the tank behind me here. So this is our 65-gallon all-in-one JBJ. You can see here we've got quite a bit of coral. There's a few fish poking around there and all sorts of setup back there. Now take note of that fan. You see there's a kind of a fan hanging from the light there because we're going to talk a bit more about that. So I told you I've got the HYDROS equipment here. You can see down here. So we've got the Control 4 and we've got a wave engine and they are hooked up together. They're in a collective. So the wave engine is actually powering the Control 4 and then we've got a whole bunch of other controls and sensors and stuff in there. In fact, if you look at the other side here, it's probably difficult to see because of the lighting, but there's a couple of those Wi-Fi strips there. And we've got quite a few things running on there. It's we're trying to maximize the HYDROS setup here and having a lot of fun with it. So I got to tell you one thing about the HYDROS that was really cool. I won this contest. I got all this equipment, and then I had to go set it up. And I actually didn't set it up for several weeks because I was really nervous about doing it. I had heard about, with some of the other control systems, just how tedious and painstaking it was. So I set aside like a whole day to set up the HYDROS. Guys, I did not need a whole day. This was like the easiest plug-and-play setup I think I've ever experienced with something that's so powerful. And that's probably one of my favorite parts is that it really is like super easy to use. But the other thing too is I travel a ton for work, and my wife is home and she takes care of all of this stuff, but she's got a whole bunch of other stuff going on and she works too, and she's got to take care of these two goofballs down there, and so she's got a lot on her plate when I'm gone. So having this thing, like, I can just pop onto my phone and see how the tank is doing, how's the temperature, everything running, is the ATO working, like all that stuff. And even occasionally we've had things where she'll be sitting here on the couch and she'll text me the skimmer's making a funny noise, and then I can just pop into the HYDROS app and turn off the skimmer until I get home from my trip. So I got to tell you, this thing is amazing, and I cannot wait to see what cool new features they add in the future. Thank you so much, CoralView. Thank you, HYDROS. Thank you all for all you do to support this wonderful hobby.
Wow, that was awesome. Josh has been a great help, and his system is looking great. Josh, congratulations, and glad to hear
Thank
that
you,
the
Josh.
Hydro system is still working. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that was a nice video. I appreciate that, Josh, and
Yeah,
we
exactly.
wish you continued success.
That's the best gift anybody can give us, is that they're using it and they're happy with it.
Right.
So I want to take the time to say hello to Josh V. I want to say hello to Bob, Parker Sreef. Oh my God, from Australia, Parker Sreef. Let's say Blake is here too. And, just want to say thank you again for coming to join us. It's the 1-year anniversary show for Hydros, and we have a couple of surprises here. I want to say again, if you like the show, if you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up, and then you'll be notified right away that we are having a show. Saludos desde Monterrey también. Gracias, México. Viva México. Mauro Gonzalez. I also want to say that if you have any questions about any product, even if you didn't buy it from us, head on over to Facebook at CoralView Cares. Community Aquarius research, education, and support. Ask any question. Well, somebody will answer it, even if you didn't buy it from us. It's just a way for us to share with the community, encourage and foster a community instead of fostering something else. All right. If you have any questions about the Hydros itself, head on over to coralviewhydros.com, and that has a great community of people that have been using the Hydros for a while. Great one. And if Facebook or the forum is not your cup of tea, then just head on over to support.coralview.com and submit a ticket, and you get one-on-one help. Okay, so let's go over that giveaway. We're having that yearly, the 1-year anniversary year giveaway. What is that, Dave? Again, let's go over that again for those people.
Yeah, so once a week through the month of November, we're going to be giving away a Control 3 starter pack. So for every week, one lucky winner gets a Control 3 starter pack, gets you into the Hydros realm, into the little world of Hydros, and you can grow with it from there.
That's amazing. So every week, so you got 4 chances of winning, and then I know that you have multiple chances to enter. So that's awesome. Now, speaking of giveaways, so now it's a good time to give away a first item of the day. So it's going to be a Hydros t-shirt. So I'm going to ask Dave to kind of step back and give us the banner.
I'll give you a little, I got on, but we got it here for you.
Give me the Vanna White look in there. There you go. So we're giving that. To enter, all you have to do is comment happy anniversary. That's it. You just have to write a comment happy anniversary in the chat section, and a name will be drawn at random. Now you have 30 seconds. Not yet. Once the counter starts, then you have 30 seconds to put happy anniversary on the comments. And then obviously you got to be present to win. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to write it. So my producer is going to start that right about now. All right, that was the 30 seconds. So you got to stop. That's it. That was it. So we will pick the winner a little bit later in the show. But right now, let's continue with our journey through the 1-year history.
Yeah. So then, as we moved on a little bit in time, we then released the Control XS, and the reason for the XS is people were like, "Well, we've got a Control 4 or 2, but we need more sense ports. We need to be able to add more leak detectors and sensors." And so we were like, okay, here comes the Control XS.
And if I remember correctly, Dave, the Control XS is also a full-fledged controller. It could work by itself, or it could become part of the Control 4 that you bought first, then the Control 2 that came out after, and now you're adding the Control XS. I mean, so it's just keeps you growing.
Correct.
With the
keeps
system.
You growing, or you can buy in as that package as well. If that's what your system or your needs demand and what you want to accomplish, that's a perfect starter package as well.
That's right. So, everything is instead of a collective. So you link it up, and if you want to learn about the collective, just go to www.coralviewhydros.com. The online manual is there, and we really break it down. We've taken the time to write instructions as best as we can. And people ask me, it's like, why do we have the instructions online? Why can't we print them out? And the reason why is because Control Hydros is new, and we keep adding so many things to it that if you were to buy something and then get instructions printed, by the time you get it, the instructions are pretty much outdated.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's like, who really needs to print instructions? I mean, let's be environmentally friendly here. All right. Okay. So we're going to announce the winner of the t-shirt for the 30-second contest there. And the winner is, the producer picks the one with the hardest last name. Always. They always do this to me.
I knew you were going to.
I know. It's like, why couldn't you pick John Smith? No, you had to be. Okay, so Matthew Borisa from Facebook. So Matthew Borisa, we're going to go ahead and reach out to you via DM. So make sure that you kind of look around there and don't ignore us. And then we will get that prize to you. I want to say congratulations.
Yep.
That is awesome. So Dave, continuing our journey through the year, what's the next product that we had released?
I don't know. Where's my little screen here at the bottom?
Well, the next product would have been the X3.
Oh, yeah, of course. So the X3 came. So we had people like, well, the Control 2's nice, but I wish it had a pH probe. And it's like, okay, we can do this too. So this is, how the Control 3 evolved. And it's a nice starter pack, especially if somebody in freshwater market.
The thing.
Go ahead.
The thing that was born is because people kept asking, okay, I have a Control 4. And then we never thought, it's like, okay, 2 pH ports or 1 pH and an ORP. And it's like, okay, somebody can just, if they want more pH ports, they'll buy the Control 4 again, and then you get another 2. Yeah. But then we had the thing where people are asking, it's like, I don't need another 2. I just need one more. Can you just come up with one more? And that's where the X3 was kind of born.
Right.
It's
an add-on as well. Like we keep saying, all of these devices, can add to the collective, or it's the entry point too, the cost of entry.
Exactly.
$299 for the Control 3 pack, the Control 3 starter pack.
And you could technically start with an X3, and then if you need more pH ports and an ORP, once you get better, then you add a Control 4, you end up with a Control 7. Yeah. It's like we're playing football here. That's the great thing about the controllers, and kind of evolved. And one little secret that we'll let you know is like back in when the Control 4 was released, the Control 3 wasn't even something that we wanted to do.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like, customer request, and that's how we always want to be, accessible, and let us know. We want to hear from our customers. Hey, what would you like to see? What can we improve on?
Exactly. Exactly.
That was how we want to be.
Okay, so the next one we had in the list was October of 2021. Now we're getting towards the end of the year, and we had the Wave Engine LE. What is the Wave Engine LE?
The Wave Engine LE is the little brother of our Wave Engine that was released prior to a year of the controllers being released, and we wanted to make something basically a 2-pump, 2-driver port pump controller instead of a 4, and so that's kind of what we did there, and so we have a 2-pump option and a 4-pump with the standard Wave Engine.
That's great. Now, is the Wave Engine, can you bring the Wave Engine into the collective and build it along with the Control 4, the Control 2, the Control XS, and the Control 3?
Sure. Yeah. Bring it all in together, and it's one happy family in the collective.
That's amazing. Now, one thing that I've gotten the question is like, if I have a wave engine, do I need a control? Or if I have a control, do I need a wave engine?
Nope.
You don't, but they are complementary.
Yep.
Okay, so the wave engine is a flow pump specialist. Let's put it that way. The wave engine will allow you to direct connect flow pumps into the hydro system and have them controlled by, and also replace the power strips, which is amazing because the wave engine can pull, it's a single power brick, and then you can connect 4 on the wave engine, or you can connect 2 pumps on the wave engine LE, and then they're powered by the single power brick. Also, which is cool about it, is the wave engine LE and the wave engine, because they have their own power supply, they become givers, power sources. So now you can connect the control 4, the control 2, the control XS, and the control 3 to the wave engine or the wave engine LE, and use the single power source that the wave engine has. So you had technically you have 5 controllers there that are running from a single power supply instead of 5 different power bricks.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if any of those brains were to fail, the others would pick up the slack. So if the control 4 goes down, the 3, 2, XS 3, and the wave engine will pick up the slack. So you won't have that centralized brain where if the center dies, then all the modules around it, they're pretty much dead in the water and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
All right.
I like the big aspect of, with wave engine is just getting rid of the power supplies, Carlos. God,
That's a big one.
Such a pain, and anybody in this knows there's getting to be so many of them, and trying to do cable management and power supply management. It's a task. So that was one of our goals, is try and minimize this.
Yes. Now, so we've gone through the entire year. We've done the control 4, we've done the control XS, we've done the control 2, and then the control 3, and also the wave engine LE. So, as we always do, our producer comes up with these amazing commercials, these amazing videos that sums it all up. So let April take it away.
Hold up! Why so serious? Drop the beat.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coral View Workshops again. We're back. My name is Carlos. I'm here with my guest and my co-host, David Docken, owner of Coral View. Before we get started here, and I see the comments going away, I like to go just do my regular thing. I want to say thank you everybody for watching. I want to say hello to Dev. I want to say hello to Kevin. I want to say hello to Greg, Scott, Salty Dog, Mike, and my screen is just going so fast I can't keep up. Nicole's here, so thank you so much for watching. If you like the show, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Hey, you would have missed something big if you had not subscribed. So please subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell, hit the little thumbs up. And then if you like what you see, just subscribe. We're streaming live on Facebook and streaming live on YouTube. So Dave, what you got?
Man, what was that all about?
What you got there? What you got there? What you got there?
I got a little treat here. It's a little late for trick or treat, but a little treat.
Look at that. So what is that called?
This is the HYDROS Control XP8. So
all right.
Carlos, we've heard a lot of people, asking for a hardwired version of an outlet strip. And we've been holding on to this for quite some time, just because of the material shortages and everything going on in the world with COVID. We couldn't release it as soon as we'd like, but we're just about there with it. And so we'd like to introduce this baby to you.
And the thing about it, let's also clarify the reason why we took a little bit longer with the wire strip is because we did not want a Me Too product. Right. We didn't want to just create something that was like what's out there. We wanted to make like HYDROS, with the TDS meter, with the controllers, with everything. We wanted to grab something and make it better than what's out there. So I remember people were saying, let's go back to the 1 year anniversary. And at the beginning, Wi-Fi strips. Oh my God, Wi-Fi strip. And there's, not everybody. There were a couple of people out there that were just going at it, harping at it, and that's okay. That was fine because we knew what we had. We just couldn't say anything about it. And then you wanted wired. And then we had people with the fallback state. Well, you could do fallback, but we didn't want to just do fallback. We wanted to do a smart decision-making machine that would not just fall back to something, but would still continue to monitor itself and make decisions by itself, not based on what you told it. And then it stays like that for 24 hours. So no, we wanted something that was smart enough. So the XP8, Dave, first thing, it's a full controller, right?
It's a full controller. This is a controller. This is a full controller. This means you could purchase this by itself and have control.
So you can pair this with an X3, or you can pair it with an XS, or you can pair it with an X2, and then those will hook up together. Or you can pair it with everything, and now you have wired outlets.
Correct.
Wow. Can they control Wi-Fi strips?
Absolutely. So even if you just purchase this as a standalone, you can now control all the Wi-Fi outlets. So maybe this is your go-to for all your critical devices, or what you deem critical. And then you need more outlets. So instead of paying another $280 or $300, you can buy the Wi-Fi strips for $40 retail and put maybe things you deem less important than what you put on here.
So what you're meaning to tell me is that because I'm one of those people that has and I'll agree with some of our viewers. It's like, what, do I want to put my heater on a Wi-Fi strip? Yeah, I will. But if I have the option, I probably wouldn't. Okay. So what you're saying is that I can grab all the critical things out of my tank, which I consider my Wi-Fi, my heaters, my return pump, and dosers. I can take those and connect them directly to the XP8 because it's wired to all the entire brains. And then lights, probably skimmer, all the stuff that, if it stays on or off for a little bit longer because it doesn't know what to do, it's okay. Then I go to the Wi-Fi outlets.
Correct.
So the wired outlet, and let's compare, because when I go to the store, I don't look at prices. I look at the actual ounce price or milliliter price. So the outlet on the XP8 comes out to about $35 an outlet.
Yep.
And then the Wi-Fi strips are $10 an outlet. Yep. While the other controller, if I have 9 devices, if I have 9 devices, 9 things that I need to control, that I need to plug, that means I have to buy one of their strips and then the ninth device, the one single strip, the one single outlet, I have to spend another almost $300
Yep.
to just connect one single
Mhm.
outlet. That seems crazy to me.
Yep. Yep.
You
So
know?
yeah, it is a lot of flexibility with this. It really is.
Okay.
Yep.
People ask about the fallback. Well, like we said before, this is a full-fledged controller.
You
So
fall back to what? There's a computer in this.
there's a computer. It has your configuration in there. So if you tell it, if you have outlet 1, depending on outlet 2, and outlet 2 shuts off, even if the controller is by itself, outlet 1 will shut off 2. You know, and when it turns back on, it'll do it. I mean, it is a brain in there that will remember what you programmed and then go from there.
Other controllers, they're dependent on the external brain to then provide control to their device.
Exactly.
Brain is built in to this device.
And it is connected to every single other HYDROS device through the command bus.
Yep.
Which again is waterproof. It's splash proof. It's rust proof. So it's actually better. You're not connecting it through some kind of computer adapted cable that eventually just fails.
Right.
Okay. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Now it can control Wi-Fi strips. The great thing about it, though, is another thing that it does is it a power source. So those people, and I know Jeff is kind of laughing at me right now because Jeff is one of those that believes that you should have multiple power sources so that if one power source fails, then another power source plugs and powers the entire collective.
Yep.
This can do that. So you can have the wave engine on one end powering your entire HYDROS and then add the XP8 on the other end. If the wave engine power supply fails, the HYDROS, the XP8 will keep all the devices, including the wave engine's brain, running. So you have two, and you don't have to use a data-only cable. The power is isolated.
Correct. And
that is
inside of this is a Meanwell power supply. So we didn't go and go cheap with some off-brand power supply. This is a UL rated. Meanwell has a very good name in the industry for their power supplies, and that's what we wanted to do.
And now another thing that I want to say as well is that the entire XP8 was engineered and designed specifically to pass UL and ETL certification. Now,
so it is under ETL now. That's a rigorous process. It takes a lot of time, but we, we're confident with everything we've done here that we'll pass with not a problem. But it does take time.
And you know what? Also, because I feel like the European market outside the United States, they feel like we're not giving them any love.
Right.
And that's not true. It's just, it takes time. But the great thing about the XP8 is that it is a universal voltage, which means that XP8 right there, you can plug it to a 110 or you can plug it to a 220. It'll still work just as fine. Yep. Now, we also have for other markets, because if you get closer, I'm going to ask April to put the first picture again on the XP8. Please. Okay, so you see the outlets right there, the outlets themselves, they're US outlets.
Yeah.
Okay, so the European market, Australia, they're like, well, we have to find adapters. That's not going to work for us. So we actually have the second version of the XP8. You want to show us a rendering, April? There you go. And that uses IEC connectors, which, in the US, probably you wouldn't know what an IEC connector is, but in Europe, everywhere else, you know exactly what an IEC connector is and how easy it is to find a tiny adapter that goes from an IEC connector to whatever, Australia, South America, Germany, Europe, it'll work. And because the unit works on 110 or 220, then you can use it in either country. It's almost like a universal one. So technically in the US, if you wanted to, you could purchase the IEC version and then get the adapters. That would work just as well.
Yeah.
So there's a little love in there for the European market.
Carlos, the reason with that is we have demand from all over the world. And when you look, I don't know if we have that image, but there is like 12 or 15 different, plug adapters that we would have to try and make a device for that individual market. Here we go here. So just to give you an idea of all the different plugs that, you know, we would have to try and come up with to meet the demand of these markets. So the IEC is pretty much a universal, it's a plug that has adapters that will then mate to the electrical device and plugs for these countries. And there's so many DC devices, you can easily purchase a IEC power cord, male or female.
Exactly.
And most of these countries outside the US are familiar with these and probably already using them.
Oh yeah, no, it's the IEC connectors, and you know what? In the US, we don't know about them because we really don't deal with them.
Yeah.
But in other countries, it's a very common thing to purchase power strips that use IEC, because it becomes a way for the manufacturer to create almost a universal power strip that can be used anywhere.
Yeah.
All right. So another thing that is cool about this, pun, cool, is that it is passively cool, people. Right. There is no fan bringing in humid air into the unit inside.
No noise.
No noise. You know how the other strips, you know, if you have other strips, the fans go bad and then it overheats. So this is actually passively cooled. So no noise, excuse me, and no humid air coming into the unit. Yeah, which is fantastic.
And I want to, you know, we've been preaching about our rating on the 65 rating, and I just want to make sure people understand this is not has that same rating just because of these plugs.
Yes.
But the box itself is like the others in terms it's got an opening seal to it.
It's got the same look and ruggedness and
ruggedness, but we couldn't meet that same criteria just because of the plugs. They're not designed for taking moisture, but everything else about the box, though, is originally meeting that 65 rating.
That is fantastic. One more thing that I wanted to touch upon, and that is because you're talking about high voltage, 210, 120, is noise. Noise from the outlets to other parts of the machine. And I heard from our engineers that we took care of that as well.
Nice.
So we have what is called optical isolation. And what it does is we are isolating the controller chip inside that unit, isolated from the actual outlets, from the power supply that powers the outlets. So there's not going to be any noise in between the two. Which is great, because then, you know, you could crash the computer, you can cause noise, the Wi-Fi and everything, you know, where you have a noisy pump or something. So it actually makes it so much better. All right.
How about current monitoring, Carlos?
It has current monitoring. Actually, I'm gonna have the April give me the dimensions in there, because people have been asking about the load. So here are the dimensions: 9.5 by 4 3/4, and it's only 3.2 inches tall. And as you can see, every outlet is rated for 8 amps with a total amperage of 14 amps. Okay, so just to clarify, just because every outlet is 8 amps doesn't mean that you can grab 8 times 8. No, there's a limit of 14 amps on this. Okay, there you go. Now, when is it going to be available, Dave?
Well, we're shooting for the end of this month, maybe early December. So that's our target, but don't hold us to it.
I'm gonna say
everything here, and it's now just a matter of putting a couple more things together.
Yeah, I think realistically, let's just say the end of the year, before the end of the year, And the price?
$279.99, so retail price.
Wait a minute. So it's the same price at what the competitor used to be before this big price hike? Does that include the price hike already?
Yeah, that's the price hike.
I'm just asking. I mean, people are asking the same question. I'm just saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Good.
We're not going up on price after we release it or anything.
Okay. So now we have a second giveaway. you know, because we're that kind of, you know, day today that we're just excited. We're just giving it away. So for the last giveaway of the day, we're also giving out a second HYDROS t-shirt. Again, Dave, give me the Vanna White look in there.
Same one I have on, but give you a little.
There you go. Second t-shirt. Okay, this time to enter, just have to simply type Control XP8. That's all you got to do. But you have to do it within the 30 seconds that our producer is going to count down. So we're going to start in 3, 2, and go. Dave, I don't know about you, but after listening to that song or that music, I feel like I'm going to be somewhere in Paris, you know, with a glass of wine, some cheese, you know. I could live without Paris, one of my favorite cities in the world. I would go back to Paris in a heartbeat. Okay, so thank you so much. If you like the show, if you like what you've seen, I know we didn't do a workshop. We're showing you how to do things, but
there's a lot more we're going to show.
Yeah, we know what we're going to do a whole show about the XP8 and how to add it to that. But anyway, if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, hit the little bell, and you'll be notified right away that we have a show, which is awesome. You can come and join us and ask questions. And also, if you want to share information or if you want to ask questions, you can always go to CoralView Cares. That is CoralView Cares, and then it's on Facebook. All right. And then one more thing you can do is if you have questions about the HYDROS product by itself, you can always head over to forum.coralviewhydros.com. And then there's a great community of people that have been using the HYDROS, not the XP8, the HYDROS, and that they're willing to help. You know, which is awesome. If you have a question, ask it. Most likely, actually, if you search, it probably has been asked already. If you're that kind of person that, you know, Facebook is not your cup of tea, and forums, you don't want to do that, then just head over to support.coralview.com and submit a ticket, and we'll have one-on-one help. So let's go ahead and remind customers of our 1-year anniversary giveaway, Dave.
Yeah, so once a week for the month of November, we're going to be giving away a Control X3 starter pack. So 4 chances to win, 1 giveaway a week. Get your chance and see if you can win.
All right. So you know what? We're a little bit early. You know, we went through a little bit early. So why don't we go ahead and take some questions from the.
Hey, how about our winner, Carlos? Let's announce our winner.
Oh, well, okay. I was going to do it after the questions.
Okay. Whenever you're ready. I didn't want to.
All right. So if anybody has any questions about the XP8 or the Control 4, please ask them. We'll be happy to answer them here. Yes, somebody said that I have to play guitar next time. You know, we'll think about that. Yeah, we'll think about it. Okay. When is pre-order for the XP8? I don't think, are we going to do any pre-orders, Dave? I don't think so.
Well, we just put on our website when they're in stock. If you want to go to the website, I think Jeremy will be putting that up pretty shortly, and you can get notified when they start shipping.
Exactly. Just don't forget, when you purchase the XP8, if you're adding it to a collective, make sure that you also purchase a command bus cable. And if you are creating a collective for the first time, please buy a Terminator.
Yeah.
And you know, before that, go to coralviewhydros.com and read up on the collective, because there's a little bit of additional hardware. It's not a big deal, but it's additional hardware that is required by CAN bus.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sign up for the notifications. Can you monitor power on each port individually?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You know, power is going to be Power monitoring is going to be great, and we're going to do it actually in 2 phases. Okay, so the first phase is you're going to be able to set alarms to get power notification, to get notifications that the output has been used up or anything like that. The second phase, all I can tell you is power monitoring. We're gonna, because again, we at Hydros don't like to just copy somebody. We like to actually make it better. All I can tell you is the power monitoring for the XP8 is going to be to another level. It's going to be another level, and you guys are going to be impressed. That's all I can tell you right now. All right. Any other questions right here? Let's see. Can you send alerts based on power monitoring? Yes, we can do that.
Yeah.
It is wired, but it can control other Wi-Fi strips like other controls. Yes, it can. So technically, you could have an XP8 as your full controller, and then power Wi-Fi strips. The only thing about it is the XP8 doesn't have any sense ports, so you wouldn't be able to pull temperatures. So that's where probably the XP8 would go well with an XS, or it would go well with a Control 2, or it would go really well with a Control 3 or a Control 4. It would be a nice, it's almost like, you know, any of the controllers, the predecessors with the XP8 would make it a really robust controller.
And we're going to do what we're going to call a Pro Pack, Carlos, where it'll be a controller, you know, a X4 with the XP.
So,
and maybe that's not what you know the customer will want, but you're going to have the options of purchasing individual components to make the system that you want. So, but keep in mind too, when you purchase this is your power supply. So when you purchase a Pro Pack, there won't be an additional power supply that comes with this.
Exactly.
This will power your additional controllers.
Just remember, people, this is a wired power strip.
Yeah.
So for those of you that were a little bit worried about the Wi-Fi strips, and maybe you were doing the Wi-Fi strips, but in the back of your mind you always had that, you know, question mark. Well, this is the answer right here. This is the answer. You can purchase one of these to take care of your 2 heaters, your return pump, maybe some dosers, and the rest of the stuff. It can go into a Wi-Fi strip. I mean, if my lights stay on for a few hours, it's not going to kill my tank. Right. You know what? If my fans stay for a few hours on, it's not going to kill my tank. You know, that's it. So, you know, the things on the heater, you know, if it's wired, then it's going to know what to do right away. It's never going to turn it, you know, it's not going to turn it on and leave it like that. So it's got its own brain, and it will know to turn off the heaters. It will know to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Will the Control XS be getting a visual update to match the other controller options?
Yes. Is he talking about the card?
Oh, the card. Yeah. Yes, it will. It will. You know, it's like we learn as we, you know, we're learning, you know, we're learning. But you know what? I appreciate that. If that's the only concern you have, we've done our job really well.
Right. And if you got one and we come out with the card that's cut like the others, hit us up. We'll send you one. It's easy to replace.
Absolutely. Does it connect to the Ethernet? No, it does not connect to the Ethernet. There is no Ethernet connection in here. The control, the HYDROS is meant to work together. So they're connected to each other. Mm-hmm. So even if you lose your Wi-Fi, even if you lose your internet connection, because the controllers are daisy chained together, then the XP8 will never lose its connection to the X4, to the other controllers. Does that make any sense? So it has nothing to do with the Wi-Fi strip, with your Wi-Fi or your internet. If you lose your Wi-Fi, if you lose your internet, the XP8, because it's wired to the other controllers, it'll continue to work and do its thinking. Grab the temperature from the Control 4, grab the water level sensor from the XS, and then act upon it.
Absolutely.
Okay, can HYDROS monitor DKH alkalinity in some way? Yes, it can actually. We work together with our partner companies, and Focustronic is our partner company, and they have developed this machine called the Alkatronic, and the HYDROS actually connects to the Alkatronic wirelessly through the API. So it connects to the Alkatronic, sends the information to the Focustronic cloud, and then we have permission from Focustronic to go into the cloud, pull the information, and bring it into HYDROS. So you can do that. You can do the same thing with the Mastertronic, which also tests a plethora. Hey, I can say that because there's many, a plethora of other tests. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Let's see. Nick, hardwire reliability with a collective brain. Yes, exactly. And that's the reason, people. That's the reason. We didn't want to just come up with a strip that was hardwired, but it couldn't make decisions, or it was hardwired, but it was still depending on the Control 4 or the Control XS. We wanted to create something that was better than what's out there, which is a controller with 8 outlets. Integrated into that.
And its own brain.
And its own brain. Exactly. A plethora of piñatas. Yes, David. A plethora of piñatas. I haven't done that in a while. Maybe one of these days I should do. 2 quick questions in here. Price of the power strip, and is the new power strip the same for form factor as the 4? I mean, I can't really read that. It's actually out of the screen anymore.
I think he's talking about the size. Is it the same form factor as Control 4?
No, it's not. It's slightly bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah, April, can you put the pictures in there for the dimensions? That would be great help. Okay, that it is. And the price is going to be $279.99, and that includes the shipping, logistics, and everything else hike that everybody else has been putting out there on all their products. So we're not going to release it at $279, and a month later we're going to tell you that it's more. No, it's $279.
We did our best to try and there's been a lot of logistic problems and inflation this year, but we did our best to this price where we wouldn't have to touch it.
Somebody's asking about the Cage Guardian. I'll touch that upon lightly. Unfortunately, the Cage Guardian, the company decided to go a different way. So the company decided that they would take care of their own support and their own sales. So that is why we no longer carry the Cage Guardian. It wasn't our decision. It was the manufacturer's decision. They thought that was best for their company, and we support it. Sometimes maybe in the future we'll come back and do business. But it was the company that decided that.
Ultimately, I think we have a better product to offer in the Alcatronic. It's been a great product for us, and people that are using them love it. I think I hear one going off now.
Exactly, mine is going on there. It usually happens. All right, so we are going to announce the winner of the giveaway, and the winner is I have Crabopolis.
Yes.
Crabopolis. You must be present, though. You must be present to win. So Crabopolis is here. If you are here, it's Crabopolis on and from YouTube. So if Crabopolis is here, we'll reach out to you, and then we will make arrangements to get that. Oh, there she is. There he is. She. I think it's he, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. It's a he.
It's a he. I'm sorry, Crabopolis. I apologize. I didn't want to say it, or it's like he, she, it. Not no. It could have been it. Don't matter. I just didn't know. So Crabopolis, he, she, it. You won. You won. All good. Thank you. It's hard when you have the handles. You can't see the name. You can't see the face. It's a little weird. Yeah, it's a little weird. So congratulations to Crabopolis. Well, so thank you everybody for watching.
Thank you for all the support, everyone, for the first year, and there's a lot more to come.
Yes, there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more to come. So thank you so much for watching. If you like the show, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, hit the like, hit the bell. And then if you want to ask any questions about anything, just head over to Facebook, CoralView Cares. It's a group, it's a community of people, of hobbyists that are always willing to share, and we try to be, we try to use Facebook for the good. All right. If you like what you hear and you have any questions about the HYDROS controller, you can always head on over to forum.coralviewhydros.com. There's a great DIY section there that shows you how to create your own custom cables, custom dry ports, and then connect them to the HYDROS. It's actually a pretty cool thing to do. And last thing, if you are not one of those people that likes Facebook or you don't want the internet, you can always head on over to support.coralview.com and reach out to us, and we can schedule a phone call, and we will be happy to help you with any product that you purchase from us, not just any product from this one. And for the HYDROS controller, we can even remote into your controller and take a look at what you got, which is a little. It makes troubleshooting a lot easier.
Yep.
All right, so there's the box for the Control XP. We are saying welcome, hello to the Control XP8 here in our anniversary workshop, and thank you so much for watching, everybody. On behalf of April, my producer. Oh, you know what? And my producer just asked me about the big giveaway. Dave, take away the big giveaway.
Man, we big giveaways going on all month. Every week, we're going to be giving away a Control 3 starter pack. So it's a good opportunity to be 4 winners, 1 winner a week, and register. Get you the opportunity to win.
And we're starting tomorrow, right?
Yep, tomorrow.
We're starting tomorrow.
First announced giveaway.
So if you haven't signed up, you sign up right now, and you have 4 chances to win, and then 3 chances, 2 chances, and 1 chance to win. So you know how the math works. All right. So on behalf of our producer April,
Thank you.
our graphic designer Jeremy, on behalf of Dave Dockin, the owner of Coralview, my name is Carlos, and we bid you good night.
Good night.